You know, I'm kind of a loser. In case that wasn't painfully obvious by the hat and the fact that I wear a tuxedo t-shirt every time you see me, and most days in life too. About all I achieved education-wise. I got a high school diploma. For the most part, I'm just really a glorified janitor. So bad even my lighter needed recharge and I had to slum it with matches. But yeah, my business, I run a maintenance business, but like I said, I'm basically just a glorified janitor. And even my time as a firefighter, I've been doing it since I was 19. I'm 34 now. I'm still just basically a glorified janitor around the fire department. I ride in the back seat, clean toilets, and mop floors. Wait to be told what to do. In that time, for the majority of my career, I spent my time on the slowest unit at the slowest station in the whole department. A lot of people there think that I'm A, an idiot, B, an asshole, or C, both, and they're not entirely wrong. I'll work 3 weeks straight, sometimes longer, without a single day off. Most of my life, I've been at least 30 or 40 pounds overweight. You know, not fat enough to where it's slovenly disgusting, but also not to where you feel good. My relationships, my marriage, a lot of times been pretty hard. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I've been the absolute best husband in the world and that I've never disappointed or had an argument with my wife or that it's just been pure bliss. It hasn't. I have not lived up to what I could be. I haven't ran 240-mile marathons. I haven't made $1 billion. I don't have a stable of hoes. I'm not top G by any stretch of the imagination. But I don't think that's a problem because I think I've threaded the needle between Giga Chad and Cuck Loser. Because with that high school diploma, I've reached the 1% of earning. Between my business and my job, a bad year, I'll bring in about 150K. Good year. Real good year if everything's hitting on all cylinders, about 220. It's not too bad. I've gone from being, let's just face facts, fat and chubby to where I was looking at it. I'm in the top, pound for pound, top 1% of strength in humanity. Weigh 165 pounds. I can pick up 420 pounds off the ground. You can find videos of me doing that. I'm closing on being able to bench twice my body weight. So that's something. In high school, I was given a number of IQ tests because my ability to spell is horrible, and they were basically checking to see if I was an idiot, which maybe I am. But in that time, it's found out that I had, after taking a number of IQ tests, a buck 36 IQ, which is 4 shy of being a genius, so came up short both literally and metaphorically in life. Which, people who brag about their IQs are usually idiot douchebags. But it does measure something. And I've leveraged it at other points in my life. I was one of the people that figured out that it was a good idea to buy Bitcoin when it was about $200. I was one of the people who figured out how to run a successful business. I own 2 homes, 3 cars. Cars are all completely paid off. Mine. One's a truck. I'll pay off the other 2 homes shortly. Despite my problems that I've had in my love life and rough patches in my marriage, I can honestly say that my wife has never ever said anything disrespectful or insulting me in public or in private. In arguments, never heard a put down from my wife, and she genuinely loves me. I have 3 beautiful children who love me to death, and my children are so good looking, I often joke, but I actually mean it, that they're good looking enough to where they can afford to be stupid. I'm not saying they are, thank God, I don't have 3 dum-dums. But they're so good looking, if one of, or all of them, were genuinely stupid, I wouldn't even be worried. Because they could just coast through life on their good looks. I'm very blessed with that. And I position myself in my life to where I can make a living relatively stress-free. Nobody bothers me. About the only thing I have for an employee or people that are looking to me is one 16-year-old kid that I'm mentoring and helping out here and there, teaching him how to run a business. And I'm mainly just doing it because he's a kid who looks like he comes from a pretty rough area, but he's still got a good heart. And I'd like to see him do well in life. And I say what I mean and I do what I want. And I don't really care about the consequences. Because I've managed to have constant confidence in myself in that no matter what life throws at me, I'm not underneath any illusions that I'm invincible, but I'll make it okay. It might take me months, might take me years, but whatever happens, I'll recover. I genuinely think that my lifestyle threads the needle between the stress of being broke and the stress of just trying to achieve too goddamn much and do too goddamn much. Like, Andrew Tate is every 15-year-old boy's fantasy, but I genuinely pity that man. Because at my height with my business, I was running a crew, a couple of crews, people who would go out and clean for me. And having to deal with that, between customers complaining, the people that worked for me complaining, it was a freaking nightmare. I can only imagine what somebody who runs a true business empire's life is like. Where it's just constantly listening to one fucking person that you don't want to listen to bitch and complain about things you don't care about, all for freaking money you don't even need. It's got to be awful. The other thing he's got this stable of women. Well, shit. I can barely keep together a happy, functioning adult relationship with one woman. If I had to go home to 5, Jesus Christ, I can only imagine what that would be like. I don't care how friggin' much of a Mac pimp you think you are. There's no way that that's a peaceful existence. It's gotta be just as stressful as going out to the grocery store with $20 in your pocket and that's it. I can only imagine. So, what I'm getting at is, I think I've figured out the perfect balance on what I'm calling the King Brokey lifestyle. And the reason I'm saying that is because to truly successful, borderline insane people who have went out and conquered the world, the way that I live my life, the way that I look, the day-to-day life existence that I live, they can't tell the difference between me and somebody who's just barely scraping by, living paycheck to paycheck, hand to mouth, and is in fear if anything goes wrong, they're fucked. Whereas with me, I don't have the stress of the top 1%, nor the bottom 5. Because the biggest thing that's important to me in my life that I look at is being able to spend time with the people that I love and put them first, my wife and my children. Not be stressed out by things I don't care about, and to be able to say whatever the hell I please and do more or less whatever the hell I want. And not with the ignorance that there wouldn't be repercussions, but just with the reality that I don't care. Like, I like saying and having completely inappropriate humor. I'll give you an example. There was a guy I worked with at my station. He's not off the books, but he's gone. I think he was a drunk, an alcoholic, just a general POS. And the two people that worked directly for him were complaining about him around me. One was a man, the other was a woman. And the woman was complaining to the man how she notices that when she's saying things, he'll just cut her off and not take to heart anything that she says. And she thought it was because she was foreign. And he said, the man was saying that, in your defense, I think it's just more that he doesn't listen to women. To which I piped up and said, yeah, I agree with you. It's kind of one of his few redeeming qualities. To which everybody there, including the woman, damn near pissed themselves laughing. Do I actually think that's a redeeming quality in him? Not really. But I thought it would be funny, and I was right. Now, it easily could have went sideways. I could have lost my job over that. But the nice part is that I really don't give a shit. Because even if I did, I'll figure it out. And that's the mindset that I've been able to live in my life. By following the principles that I've come up with and the mindset that I've cultivated. And really, I started this YouTube channel and started recording myself because if you truly want to understand yourself, be able to be a better communicator, understand what you really think, you should record it and look at it yourself. Because if there's anybody in this whole wide world that should be able to understand what you're talking about, it's you. And if you make a video, play it back, and you don't know what the hell that motherfucker's talking about, maybe you're a fucking idiot. Maybe you should work on that. And so my ultimate goal is that I would hope to get enough of a following so that as I record myself and put it out to the world, I can outsource thinking to the bored brain. People who will call me a fucking idiot. People who will hate me. People that will mindlessly agree with everything I say. But in there, in the comments of trash, I might find a little few nuggets of wisdom. It'll actually teach me something. And if along the way, let's say that this video goes viral and it somehow destroys my life, that's okay. I'll figure it out. I'll be okay. And that's the King Brokey mindset, and that's why I've changed this from Tuxedo Talk to King Brokey, King of the Brokies.